This is Dr. Matt Barber of Alabama Orthopedic Clinic. We are proud supporters of Ransom Reprogram, Ransom Ministries, and all of the good work that they do in our community. If you would like to learn more about us, check us out at alortho.com or barbertotaljoint.com. You can also hear more from me personally on the Ortho Real podcast. Thank you again for allowing us to be involved with Ransom Ministries and all of the great work that they do.
Hey, welcome to the Ransom Experience. My name is Matt Armbruster, Executive Director of Ransom Ministries. You're going to hear stories from people that we've served and people that serve alongside us, as well as those that we partner with throughout our community. You're going to hear about decisions they made throughout their life and things that happened through different avenues of their life that caused them to go down a path that they didn't see themselves going. And then also those decisions that they have to make on a daily basis to stay away from those decisions that they made in the past. Ransom Ministries empowers people to utilize their God-given gifts and talents in their career and for their community. All along the way, we learn how to help those close to us and also maybe even help ourselves. This is real. This is raw. This is Ransom.
With every star, we are born again. Open your heart, spend less time in your head.
This show is brought to you by Ransom Recycling, your number one choice for electronic recycling in Mobile, Alabama. Help reduce waste in our landfills by recycling all of your unwanted, unused, and non-working electronics. Ransom Recycling is a division of Ransom Ministries that is helping to put men and women back to work. Check out ransomministries.com for a complete list of acceptable items. Drop-offs and pickups can be easily scheduled through the website. Please note that we are not accepting TVs at this time. Ransom Recycling, open 8 to 3 Monday through Friday. Help our planet while helping men and women re-enter the workforce.
With every star, we are born again. Open your heart, spend less time in your head.
Hey, welcome to the Ransom Experience, where we talk to people that are volunteers in our program. We talk to people that have, that are teammates in our program, that are in recycling, reprogram. And today I'm joined by Amanda, who I have been trying to get on this podcast for months. She first came to us through the Home of Grace, where she went through there, and we've talked a lot about that through other programs. And then she came on as one of our first ladies that came through the Home of Grace that actually came on to recycling. And I've seen some great strengths in her and also some growth that I don't even think she thought she could have. So thank you for joining me today.
Thank you.
Talk a little louder.
Thank you.
So first of all, tell me a little bit about where are you from?
I'm from Texas, Fort Worth.
Fort Worth, Texas. So you grew up there, and that was where you were a kid. You were born there.
Till I was 10.
All right. So till you were 10. So tell me a little bit about your life till you were 10. What was it like?
We grew up poor in Texas, and lived pretty much at my granny's the whole time I was growing up when I was in Texas, along with my cousins, and that's all I really remember. And then we moved to Monroeville, Alabama when I was 10, and then my dad started his own concrete business.
Okay. So then you were in Monroeville, which is north of here, right? North of Mobile. Went to school there.
In third grade
through high school?
Fourth grade.
And then where did you go?
To Mobile.
And he was doing concrete work there, your dad then?
Yes.
And your mom and dad were still together and all that?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so then you went into, say, middle school. Where you went to middle school here in Mobile?
Yeah, Baker.
At Baker. So tell me about that.
I went to work in fourth grade, and then I went to Baker Elementary, and I was playing softball all through middle and high school at Baker.
Okay. So you were sports. You liked sports.
Mm-hmm.
So you went through high school. You went to Baker High School?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then you graduated Baker High School. So then where'd your life go after that?
Down the drain, because I got addicted to opiates at 18.
So how did that happen? How did you just start taking them because of an injury or just because it was there?
I mean, because it was there. My best friend Amanda and Kelly, which she's dead now, but we started all three together doing pills. And when I took them the first time, and that like looking at it at a different perspective, it helped a lot. It like numbed the pain that I had, and it just led to a 14-year addiction.
So it was just an escape. So that would have been when you were like 17, 18? Mm-hmm. So then 11 years, you said?
14.
14 years. So that puts you into adulthood. But I'm sure, did you have jobs in between then and things during that time?
Well, I had my daughter at 17.
Okay.
She was actually 6 months old at my high school graduation. And then, I was a pharmacy tech, but I lost my job, because of legal matters. And then I was a waitress after that, off and on. And then, that's, I think I haven't had a real job in like 7-8 years.
Okay. So you were just kind of working odd jobs and getting what you could, but your opioid addiction was really the control in your whole life. Mm-hmm. So where was your family was around during that time?
Yes.
They were seeing that, what we were going through. And so tell me about that. How now looking back, do you feel like they would have been there for you if you would have just reached out, or did you not feel like they were?
It's a complicated situation because, when I was 10 till I was 12, I was abused by my stepbrother, who is now in Metro again for doing it again as well. So that caused a lot of friction because of how they handled it. And
because a lot of times when there's abuse like that, they don't always believe the person that it happened to.
No, he admitted to it. He said he was sleepwalking.
Oh, but they believe that instead of just that it was. So that hurts too, because you're you want them to believe you and you're part of it, but they're not. So that's a lot of times that happens. So did that push you further into your addiction?
No, they did believe me.
They believed you?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought they didn't.
No, they did. I went to the Child Advocacy Center because I tried to, I think I was 14, I took 30 Tylenol PMs, and my mom had found me unresponsive, so I woke up in the hospital and with them shoving charcoal down and it was bad. But so they had, DHR was involved. Ended up not going through with the charges against him, but he was arrested for it because he was 18 years old whenever he started doing it to me. So, and my parents were kind of pushing me to drop them, and I did. It's really all like a blur, but and it just made me have like really low self-worth, and
And that's kind of the person that I saw at first, like. Didn't think you could do anything, didn't think you were really worthy of those things. And that's a lot of times through abuse. That's how we feel about ourselves. We feel like it's our fault, feel like we've done something wrong. So as you moved on, so you came to the Home of Grace. What was that like? Why did you go there in the first place? And when did you get to, you were doing this for 14 years. So what was the point where you was like, I just can't do this no more?
Well, the last few years, I, went to heroin, and I overdosed 3 times in 1 year, and I really didn't care. I wasn't trying to kill myself, but I also didn't care if I lived or not, because I haven't seen my kids in like 4 years, and it's like, what's the point? I'm never going to change. And then my son Liam, his birthday was on June 26th this past year, and he said what he wanted for his birthday was his mom back. And 2 weeks later, I was found a detox center and then to rehab, to Home of Grace.
So then you're there. And so your son saying that, like, really, like, clicked. Like, I probably need to get better for them. Even if at first you're like, what's the use? But that probably showed you that there was some purpose for you getting to where you needed to go. So 14 years, you come to the Home of Grace. What did you think of the Home of Grace when you got there?
Crazy. because I didn't believe in God. I was atheist. I didn't like tell everybody, oh, I'm atheist. Like I was kept that to myself because I didn't know what they're going to think. Well, why are you in a Christian rehab if
don't believe
it was right? But honestly, it's because it was free. Like my parents have shelled out money for Bradford, thousands and thousands of dollars, and just to go get high there and leave with withdrawals and go get high when you're leaving the parking lot, and but about a month and a half into it, I was kind of like, okay, if you're real, God, do this, do that, do this, do that. And he was doing this and that and more. So, and then I accepted Jesus Christ as my Savior, and, everything started falling in place. Like that, the next day my warrants was lifted off of me. I got my glasses, within like that week of being, and I was just like,
So the struggle, so I'm going to back up a little bit. So how did you get to the Home of Grace? Like, how did you find out about it?
My Lynn Emmons, she used to be my probation officer. I kept in touch with her while I was in Washington because I went there to get clean, and
It didn't work.
It didn't work.
How many rehabs did you go to?
4.
4. Bradford most of the time?
Yeah, Haven of Hope, first time in 2010, and then to Bradford twice in 1 year in 2015 or 14.
Okay. So then so your probation officer told you about the Home of Grace?
Well, I came to her for help. I was like, she knew I was going to Washington to get clean. And I did lie about it, about me being clean up there. But I mean, I really wasn't. But I just told her I was. I was like, I came back, and Miss Emmons, I was like, man, I messed up. And she tried to get in touch with me for like a month after that, but I would just leave her unread. Mm-hmm. And I finally, messaged her, and she knows Catherine at Home of Grace, the counselor. She's amazing. And she said, we'll get into detox. I went to Jackson, Alabama, at the hospital up there. Met some wonderful people up there, and was there for about 5 days, and then, went to the Home of Grace.
So you came to the Home of Grace as you didn't have no belief. I mean, you didn't believe in God. You didn't believe in any of those things. And then you started seeing him doing things.
I did.
In your life. And there was no other explanation but him?
No, I mean, because, and I was like, I didn't want to believe it. I've always, it's my pride. I can't do this, because everybody's going to be like, I was worried about what people would think of me when I got out about believing, because, there's some hardcore atheists, but I was like, it's whatever. This is the first thing, the first and only thing that has helped me. I'll be 6 months clean in a week. Mm-hmm. And that right there.
How long has it been since you've been 6 months clean?
Since never.
Since you were a kid? Before you were
literally
10 years old or whatever?
Right.
But so I think that is so cool, because we talk a little bit about, it's so much cooler to see God do it than us try to do it on our own. And that's what I think a lot of people out there listening that listen to this podcast don't understand addiction, because a lot of times they'll say, well, she's been like 4 or 5 rehabs, she ought to got it by now. But something it takes time, and it takes the process, and you getting to the realization that God was real was a huge part of that. And, I've talked to different people throughout this program, and that has always been their key, is that they had to realize that they couldn't do it on their own. They've been trying, they've been having, and even letting family members do it for them or whatever. And, you mentioned Catherine. Well, Catherine came through that same thing, and that's why she is so good at what she does, is because she's been there. So now I see you come here, and we put you in recycling. You'd never driven a forklift before? And we started training you in forklift, and then we had a guy that was running the back, and he was kind of organizing it and doing that. Well, he got a job and moved on, and we said, you're going to do that. And I'll never forget when there's no way I can do that. I can't do that, because that confidence wasn't there. And I'm going to tell you right now, looking across at you right now, and I wish y'all could see her, because from day one till now, there's that confidence. I know you didn't want to get on here very much, but I think compared to a month ago when I asked you to do it, you went ahead and did it, because you believe in yourself way more than you did before. And so that's what this is about. That's what Reprogram's about. That's what Recycle's about. That's what this whole ministry's about, is getting you to the point where you're confident in who you were created to be. And I'm going to tell you all right out there, she's one of the best people that I've had in the back. So if any of you out there need someone that can organize and keep things straight and follow directions and ask questions, which I love about you, this is your girl. She could handle anything you put in front of her. And I do believe that. Because I tell you, it's funny because I give her a hard time because I tell her she'd argue with me if I told her the sky was blue, because she's very opinionated, which I like. She's also very, she wants to know. So I see that learning in you. I see that desire to learn. And it's fun to know because, I came from that same, really, I didn't believe there was a God. But now I get to see him every day. And I see him in you. I see him in other people, and you'll get that same opportunity. So as we kind of end this, what has being here after the Home of Grace, how has that helped you? And what do you think the biggest takeaway you've got out of being here?
Ransom has made me believe in myself. And I was just saying that in circle time the other day. I came up with the subject of confidence. If it wasn't for this place, even if I just went to the Home of Grace, I still would not have the confidence. I would have never started my medical coding and billing classes, which I'm doing amazing in.
96 on her last quiz. That's awesome. Exam. Not a quiz. Exam. See what I told you? She's going to correct me if I'm wrong.
I never in a million years would have think I would have the chance to have my mind renewed, because I didn't think I was going to be smart enough to do this class or be in the back or anything like that. And y'all have helped me believe in myself when I didn't. Y'all believed in me when I didn't. And as I can see the person I've become, since I started working here,
So have we. We see it every day. You'll see her running around on the forklift when she's here with just confidence. And before, you were very timid getting on there. And that's like anything, I use that forklift as an example because that's kind of like life. Until we get out there and start having that, or doing it over and over, like even walking with God, until you do that over and over, it's hard. And you're very tentative. You don't think you can do it, but you can. And all the fears that we have, and if you're out there listening, you have a fear of trying to give yourself over to God or give yourself over to whatever, a lot of that fear it'll never happen. People aren't going to be treating you differently. So,
who cares if they do?
And you get, that's the thing. So you get to the point, well, who cares?
Exactly.
If you don't like me because of that, then I don't really need you. So you mentioned billing and coding class. You're in that right now. You have about 3 months left in that, or
about 8-9 weeks.
And she did that, got going on her own on that. I mean, I thought that was so awesome. And so now she taking her exams and quizzes, and she studies all the time here. And I'm real proud of her there. And I think that she's going to do great. But y'all come out and visit sometime and meet Amanda, because I think she would really change your life in the way that you look at people. But I'm just blessed to have you here.
I'm blessed to have you too.
And I think that, you're going to do great things. So I appreciate you guys joining us today. We have kind of been off for the last few weeks. We had a little COVID outbreak here. Actually, Amanda had it too, and me, and a few others. And we fought through that, and now we are back on the swing of things. I had to do some reboots on some of our past podcasts, but now we're going to have some new ones, and I hope you'll enjoy it. Go to our website and you can see kind of about our program, what we got going on. We have some cool stuff happening in 2022, and also you can follow us anywhere that you get podcasts. Share this with your friends, rate us, and until next week, we'll see you next week.
Too many days in the darkness without a glimpse of the light. Running tired and broken and scared, but I swear I'll never give up the fight.